So am I visible to everyone? And am I audible to everyone? Perfect. So hello everyone. Loving the energy in the room. And finally we get started. I was just waiting for as many people who could join in. And I see that our poll has also closed and everybody is enthusiastic and excited to learn practical strategies for creating and maintaining strong first impressions, understanding common pitfalls to avoid, gaining insights on ensuring each interaction leaves a positive, lasting impact. So I think y'all have rehearsed the script really well, the introduction mail that you would have received from us. So all of you are definitely bang on ready with that. So that's really great to know. And I'm super enthused, excited and, excited to meet all of you. Although, unfortunately, I cannot see you. I am very, energized by looking at your energy. So, yes. Okay. 1 second. So, okay. Too much noise. Is that same for everyone? Okay, so let me first clarify a couple of things. I could see a lot of comments. Number one, this is not going to be a session regarding any updates regarding your joining letter or anything of those sorts. I am not the person for that. We do not have, I don't have all of that information and data. You will get it from the rightful authorities when you get it. So you have to be patient with that. So I am not the right person for those questions. I am here today to help you understand how to leave or create lasting first impressions. So that is all that I am going to help you today with. So that is the session. That is what the session is about today. So yes, I know that the meeting is full, but that's it's on a first come first serve basis. So the ones who register for it and nominate, they are able to enter and participate effectively. But nevertheless, even if you've not been able to enter, I think even if you enter after the meeting is full, you'll be still able to view it, and you'll be able to participate with the link that I shared towards the end of the session and everything, so you can share responses there as well. And this is not a part of ILP. This is you can expect in the corporate, what is awaiting you, what are the things that are important for all of you. Okay, is there a lag? Because I can see that from my end, the network is fine. So people who are facing any lag or any issue, I request you to kindly cooperate and check if you can switch to a better network. I hope that helps. Okay. And since we are like over 3,000 people here, it is definitely, not going to be easy if we unmute everyone, because then it might get chaotic because some of us might be unconscious about our unmutes. So what we are going to do, however, is that we are going to enable. Okay, somebody is saying if because of my video background it's happening. So let me try changing that. I'm going to switch to a simpler blurred background. So I hope this is better. I think there are mixed responses. So I request each one of you to check your network first and verify that everything from your end is fine, because I have verified it. Okay, so I think it's better now, better than before. So yay, great. So what we're going to do is, even if you are somebody who has not been able to use the chat window, we are going to try to create a space where you can share your responses as well, and how you felt about the session, has it helped you, etc. So with that, shall we get started? Shall we get introduced what this session is all about. We hardly have a couple of minutes with us, and the topic that you have today is very interesting. It's something that excites me a lot, and it's always fun to understand different perspectives of different people on this particular aspect. So yeah, so let's delve into this interesting, exciting topic. And my request for each one of you here today is that I'm aware that the meeting is full, but I really don't have it in my hand to extend the limit. That's all that we have. So I'm going to start with a small introduction about myself. Please off the chat session. So I think there are some norms that we can set so that we can have better interaction. I would request each one of you to please stop asking questions regarding TCS NQT or anything that is related to your joining. That is something we're not discussing today. We are here to discuss about creating lasting first impressions. So let's stick to that discussion and learn better. And there are people, everyone has given very interesting responses. So I'm definitely sure you're excited to learn. So let's do that. Okay. So my way of interacting with you is going to be through chat. So if you are here with me and are excited for the session, type in the chat window excited right now. Perfect. Great. Good to see this energy. Let me get started with a quick, small introduction of mine, and then we see how this session goes. Okay. So let's get started with our beautiful, interesting session today, which is about creating, just a second, from the beginning. Okay. So before we, okay, where's my chat? Just a second. Okay. Okay. So, no, the PPT will not be shared with all of you, and that's because it's definitely confidential data. So, however, we are going to exchange a lot of, knowledge with each other today. So just trying to stop this, but it's not happening. Give me 1 second. There's some problem with my screen share. Okay, I think it's working now. Let me just check if my chat is working. Sorry for that interruption, but I hope I'm audible to everyone. Perfect, great. So today is all about creating great first impressions, and we're going to explore this topic together. I see from the responses that were shared earlier that everyone is excited to explore and understand this better. So let's do that. So first of all, a little bit before I get started and speak about myself. Since this topic is about creating great first impressions, I want to listen to your first impression about me. So, first of all, let me start with a question of what do you mean by first impressions? What is your understanding of first impression? What is it? So, you can use the chat window to respond. I will also ask you all to in between. Okay, initial thoughts about a person. Perfect. Showing our skills to others. How people think about us. What people think about you when you first meet them. The way you express yourself. The way people perceive you. Wow. So I think all of you are already pros at it. So that's really great. Offering a warm greeting. How a person presents themselves, meeting and knowing the person for the first time, giving your best, talking skills. I love the energy and love the way you all have decoded first impression, how confidently you speak, and your body language of the first image you make after the first meet or interaction. Wow, that's exciting to see. I am just exploring personality. My God, wow. So, a lot of us have been able to decode. First impression is the event when one person encounters another person and forms a mental image of that person. Wow, amazing. Yes. So, all of you have got the idea of first impressions bang on. It's nothing but the initial image that we create of the other individual in our mind before even we start speaking with them. So, that is the catch here. Okay. So, now since you have already decoded, it's like the cover of a book. Wow, Shashwat, love that thought. And I'm going to use this definitely in my sessions. How do we feel about ourselves as well? Yes, absolutely. It's creating a mark of our individuality. You know, I want to steal all of these one liners that are coming up. It's so interesting to read them and so perfect in its own way. So, thank you. Now, what I want all of you to share with me is about what is your first impression about me. So, since this session is about creating great first impressions, okay, so somebody is saying you seem really confident. Um, it's like giving a small trailer about yourself. Positive and friendly, energetic, full of energy. Wow. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm blushing. I'm laughing. I'm just grateful to each one of you who is responding in the chat segment and sharing about what you feel and what is your first impression about me. That is also, you know, a way to learn about myself and improve myself. So thank you so much that you're taking the time and responding to my questions. It's really, really, really amazing when you are on the other side and you have such a beautiful audience, a beautiful set of people who are contributing to learning together. There could be nothing beautifuler than this, you know. I am short of adjectives right now. And it really, really makes my day. And all of you today, all the 3,000 uh, of you today have made my day. So thank you so much. And you give a homely feeling. Oh wow, that's I'm just glad I can do that for you. And I hope you feel at home in TCS as and when you join. So that's all about it. Thank you so much. So now, even before I started speaking, you initially just heard my voice, right? So all of you just heard my voice initially, and then you saw me now, then you saw me share about certain things. I haven't even started sharing about myself. And you see, I've already created an image about who I am as a person. And that is what happens when you engage with any other individual. And here's a little bit about myself. So I am Pooja Rao. I am a business skills faculty and I have been with the organization for quite some time. I think people have started calling me a veteran already, but I'm not that old. But still, it's been quite some time in this organization. This is my first organization ever, and I've grown um, born and brought up kind of in this particular organization. So I've learned whatever I've learned here. This is my home ground, my home pitch, as I can call it. And I'm forever grateful for all the experiences that I've had here. And also, something that I definitely enjoy and inspires me a lot is art and nature, because I feel nature itself is art in itself. And if you cannot appreciate nature, I think you don't appreciate art. So I get inspired with that. I feel that art and nature heals you, and it has a lot of warmth, love, care for every individual in the universe. And each one of us can find our own healing mechanisms through the world of art and nature. and I like to combine them, and I also like to provide experiences using art and nature if and when possible to participants in my session. And I believe in the transformative part of it. So that's a little bit about me. You can always check about me online. You can search Google and find me maybe on LinkedIn. So you can read more about me there. I share my thoughts, my experiences, my interactions, my learnings there. So if you're interested, you can go ahead and find and know about me a little bit better. So with that, that's a little bit about myself. And here we come to your first impressions. It just takes about 3 to 5 seconds. Just 3 to 5 seconds to create an impression. Did you know that? So imagine the moment you enter a room full of people, all those people have created an impression about you, and you have also created an impression about the other person and the people that you're meeting. It's a human nature, it's psychological, we all do that. And this comes from the need of us individuals trying to see whom is it that we can connect with, so we try to categorize people basis our first impression. That is just our way of being humans, where we try to categorize people whom we find comfort with, people whom we feel we are not comfortable with. So we try to put them into those boxes. And as it is said, you might not always get a chance to create a second impression. So a lot of times that one interaction is the only interaction that you can have. And hence, if we do not create a powerful first impression and also a lasting last impression before you leave, both of them are equally important. So it's a whole package. And if you don't leave that lasting first impression with them, so it's not just how you start, but how you end the interaction, the conversation, or just meeting the other person, then it has the potential to make or break careers, to tamper our relationships with people. And I'm sure that you would have already experienced this in some form or the other in your individual life. And this is why understanding how to create great first impressions and lasting impression matters. So now, before we proceed to the next segment, I want each one of you to think about a person that you feel has, so you might have come across different people in your life, right? Your friends, your parents, family, teachers, etc. So you would have also seen a lot of popular personalities, right? Now, as per you, as per your understanding, do you know of a person who has created a beautiful, great first impression on you? Think about that individual and tell me, what did you like about them? So a lot of people have said Ratan Tata, Sudha Murthy. Remember that you've not even met this person, okay? You've not had a conversation with them, and still they have created an impression on you. Your mathematics teacher, Dr. S. Jaishankar, Shah Rukh Khan, MS Dhoni. Okay. So a lot of you have mentioned the names. Keep them coming. Think about that person who comes to your mind. It could be your parent, it could be your teacher, anyone in your community that you know who has created that perfect first impression, and you feel that, wow, this is someone, this is a person who knows what they're saying, who knows their art, who knows their craft, who knows what they're doing, why they're doing. So that impression that you get, even without interacting with them, that is the power of first impression. So this happens in 3 to 5 seconds, right? So my speaking of a particular word takes more than 3 seconds. So imagine the amount of time we have to create that. Now, I want you to think about, what did you like about them? So a lot of people are saying confident posture, friendly eye contact, the perfume, the smell that we get from the individual. We also have positive smile. We have people saying, what are the aspects about them that you like? What is it that struck you, that you feel has helped you create that impression about them? What is it? Okay. I'm going to scroll down. The nature, they are extroverts, positive attitude, smile and confidence, grooming and communication, clarity and insightfulness, their knowledge, the way it reflects. Remember again, you have not yet started speaking with the person, but yet you have been able to judge all of this about them by just looking at them. Their dressing sense, the way they present themselves, absolutely yes. Their mindset, their ideas, their knowledge, the wisdom, their ability to give the same amount of respect and warmth to each person they meet is quite fascinating. Thanks, Parth. Thanks, Abhinav. Thanks, every one of you who is sharing all of these ideas. Positive vibe. So, now you're not telling me about the qualities. This is what I like about them: their smile, their confidence, etc. What stood out for me here is that somebody mentioned that their ability to give the same amount of respect and warmth to the other person. Now that is, what creates that great first impression. But can you tell me what exactly about us, even without us speaking? I'm reminding this again and again so that we can understand the importance of different aspects that form first impressions. So, what are those aspects about our personality that you feel, or the other person's personality that you've seen, that you feel contribute to creating a great first impression? For you to feel that, this person is kind, warm, caring, gives that same amount of respect, is humble, what is it that makes you think that way? The way she expresses themselves, body language, eye contact. Wow. So I want each one of you to bring your hands together like this and applaud for yourself. I am doing that for each one of you right now. Love the way how you're not thinking already. You are already on the path of being great future leaders, and we can't wait to have all of you. So, love the energy, love the enthusiasm, love your insights. Keep them coming. Yes, gestures, positive smile. What else? Facial expressions, the way we look at people, exactly. The dressing. So, it is essentially your body language, which comprises of your expressions, your smile, your handshake, your eye contact, the way we use these muscles, facial muscles, and the way they emote, all of them, your hands, the way you stand, the posture you maintain, all of that as you enter any room, or even if you're connecting virtually now, all of that matters. Be it a physical meeting or a virtual interaction, regardless of it, it matters. Now, in the case of virtual meetings, if, for example, you have not turned on your video, then how do you create a great first impression? By what you're doing right now, by responding in the chat box, by, for example, if you had your audio lines unmuted, then by taking initiative to unmute and speak. That proactiveness, that the way you speak again also matters. So all of that put together forms great first impressions. So when your body language is in place and it's saying the things that you're saying, for example, when I say I'm happy, so my gestures, my eyes, everything, goes wide. So it says that I'm happy. If I say I'm happy, so that doesn't communicate the same emotion, right? So understanding how gestures work with our body language, work with the way what we speak, can help you create impactful first impressions. And as I mentioned, when you're going to meet any person in business or anywhere otherwise, remember that the thing that they will remember the most is the way you made them feel, the way you made them felt respected, cared for, appreciated. That is what they'll remember, not what you said as much. They might remember a couple of things, but not entirely. And hence, as much as important your first impressions are. So, for example, you meet them and some impression is created about you. You still have some time until you say bye to that individual in that interaction to leave a lasting impression. That last impression, that exit impression also matters a lot. So, first impression is hence when I say it's about creating a lasting first impression where that impression connects with the leaving impression and you stay on the mind of that individual as a person they admire, they can connect with, they want to form professional network with and collaborate with. That is the power we hold in our own hands by ensuring that we smile the right way, we use our body language the right way, and groom ourselves appropriately to the occasion in order to create that great first impression. So, are we all together until now? If we are all together, you can write the word together in the chat. And I feel that word together creates a sense of belongingness and community, which is all that it is about today. So, wow, great to see all of you writing that. Great. Together is better, isn't it? So we are all learning together, all in it together. So let's move ahead and explore each of these aspects a little bit in depth. Now, so we first start with smile. So when you use a smile, when you're entering a room, try to use your smile to your benefit. It has the power to transform relationships, right? So now can you tell me, when you receive smile from another individual, how do you feel? What does that make you feel when you look at a smile from another person? Happy, pleasant. How does that make you feel? Positive energy, warmth, yes, comforted, friendly. You feel like approaching that person. For example, when you had your first day of your college, right? And you would have 20 people in your classroom, 30 people, 40 people. But there'll be that one person who looked at you, who connected with you, just with that initial glance, which made you feel comfortable. And you went and approached them. That is how we start forming relationships, right? And smile has that beautiful power to make the other person feel respected, comfortable, warm, and relaxed. So why don't we use that to our benefit? So when you're entering in any room, be it a professional town hall, be it a business meeting, can we start doing this? Can we start meeting people with a smile? And yes, remembering that, so smile cannot be in the form of laughing all the time, then that does not make sense. Comfortable neutral smile is what makes the person feel warm. Otherwise, if you keep smiling just all the time and looking at one person, it will make the other person feel uncomfortable. So knowing when to pause and stop is also as important. So just a gentle smile is what works along the way. Now, the next aspect that I want to speak about is eye contact. So again, eye contact with a large audience is very important to ensure that you are looking at each person in the room. And there are different ways to do that. You can scan the entire room from left to right while you're speaking. And then that ensures that you're connecting with each individual, not taking anybody left out. And when we speak with one another, when you're speaking with your friends, do you look down and do you like chat and text and speak? Do you do that? Or do you look at them and you listen to them when they speak? Holding your audience, listening, looking at them. Exactly. Right. So, yeah, so we show our respect again by maintaining that eye contact, by ensuring that we are there with you, attentive, listening actively to you. So that's the power of eye contact. Again, not continuously staring. So there's a difference between staring and maintaining eye contact. So in between the meeting. So you'll like look at the person, maybe make some notes. So that makes it comfortable. Continuously staring at a particular person will make again the other person feel uncomfortable. So first impressions is all about ensuring that you and I both feel comfortable to have the interaction, take the conversation ahead, and have um, a good conversation, discussion, communication, whatever that is. So that is the purpose of it. And attire goes without saying. The way you dress for the occasion, for a town hall, for a conference, it matters a lot because you judge the credibility of the person basis that. And this is something that we're going to discuss about in the future sections. And then we come to a very, very interesting segment of handshake. Now, how many of us, when we meet a person for the first time, do we extend a hand? How many of us do that? We've not done it yet. So in business, however, we usually, when we meet the person for the first time, we usually extend a handshake. We're going to discuss this also in some bit. But to summarize how to create great first impressions, it can be done using these 8 tactics. Number 1, being on time. Now you tell me, why is it important to be on time to create for great first impression? What does being on time mean? So if you are on time, what does that show? Punctuality. It shows sincerity. It shows that you respect. Again, it's about respect. That you respect not only your time, but the other person's time as well, because time is valuable. And if somebody is spending even 5 minutes with you, it's their 5 minutes they're spending. They've chosen to spend it with you today. And you should be grateful for that. And being on time is the way that we extend that and show that, I'm here for you, ensuring that I'm extending my respect and I'm interested and committed to be there and learn together or discuss together. That's the intention that you're setting. Number 2, present yourself appropriately. So we all discussed about our body language, the way your emotions get emoted, a lot of things about your personality get emoted through your presence. So about body language and your attire. Both these things matter a lot in ensuring, yes, dressing neatly and appropriately for the occasion is very, very important. Now, third, be yourself. This is very, very important. Can you tell me why? Why is being yourself important? Genuinity. Each person is unique. Absolutely. Each and every one of you here is unique. You have your own individual capacities and capabilities and strengths and everything that makes you imperfectly perfect. Be you. Now, why is it important? Is the moment we start being authentic, the moment we start being true to ourselves, showing people or showing or representing yourself the way you are as an individual, you start growing as an individual. You start becoming a better person, a better human being, because you will receive appropriate feedback that will help you maybe improve things that could make you better. You will also get to hear feedback that is appreciating the good aspects that you portray. So either way, you are winning at the end of the day, and the other person also does. And it helps again build genuine connections, authentic relationships, and that matters a lot in terms of how you are perceived at work, how you build your personal brand, how people look at you to for you to get offered certain projects, the opportunities that come to you. All of it depends on being authentic. So that is being true to yourself. Be yourself, everybody else is already taken. That's one of my favorite quotes, Komal. Thank you for quoting that here at the appropriate time. Exactly. Um, okay. Thank you so much. So the number fourth is having a winning smile. So smile, we've already discussed, it goes a long way in making you and I and everyone around us comfortable, feeling warm, feeling at home, um, removing that awkwardness and initiating that connect even before we have started speaking. Being open and confident goes without saying. So if you go with that energy and that aura of making connections with the intention of learning, with the intention of, um, you know, exploring, that's going to help you any day, anytime. Using small talk. Now, what is small talk? Do you have any idea about it? What do we mean by small talk? To the point, brief intro. Okay. So, okay, no, a small talk is not small talk literally. So, small talk is generally used to initiate a conversation with people. So, when you're going to meet clients, when you're going to meet your team, your project members, your supervisor, all of them, you will not initially, you'll not directly start the conversation asking them that, what is my work for the day. That's not going to be a conversation. You're going to get to know them a little bit, right? So now I see some people here in the conversation directly ask me when am I going to get my joining letter. So that's not the conversation we're having here. So small talk, it's important to understand how to use it to your benefit to make that connection. If you use it appropriately, it can help you cement and start a relationship really well. And in professional networking, small talk can be very useful. For example, if you have a client who's traveled from another country and is visiting India and is going to meet our team, so you will definitely not start the conversation saying that, okay, here are my status updates, number one, two, three. That's not going to happen. You are going to start with first saying that, hey, how are you doing? I hope you had a safe flight. I hope you had a comfortable journey. And you just get to, know them a little bit better about the weather, about things, how their journey was, something interesting they spotted. Yes, engaging in small talk shows that you're interested in the other person and willing to engage in polite conversation. Thank you so much, Shweta, for bringing that point. And it makes the other person feel comfortable, come into the present moment, right? And then once they are there with you in that present moment, then you connect and speak about things that are business. So that is how it goes around. But again, please bear in mind that small talk differs as per the culture of the country. So not every culture respects or appreciates small talk. There are certain cultures where small talk is not appreciated. So please research well about the culture of the people that are interacting with to understand whether this is encouraged or this is something that is not encouraged. Accordingly, you can make better connections. Being positive, again, going with a positive attitude mindset goes without saying. Being courteous and attentive. Now, can you tell me how could you show that you are courteous and attentive? How would you display this to create a first impression? Okay, by responding, listening to them, absolutely. By showing gestures, nodding, yes, giving feedback, asking questions. Wow, all of you are experts put together. Excellent. Yes. Should be a good listener. Absolutely. Asking queries. Yes, definitely. Good body language. Greeting people with grace, polite. Definitely. Handshake, having that firm handshake. Yes. Greeting people warmly, telling your point of view, initiating a talk. Good gesture. So, now, a very important point is being attentive. Tell me one thing that all of us have in our life, which is one of the major sources of our distraction. One object that we have, which is a major source of exactly our mobile phones. So, this phone that we have, if we don't use it appropriately, it can cause problems. So when you're engaging with a person, we always, that's a gesture. That's again a way of showing respect that right now I'm focused on engaging with each one of you, and this phone is at bay in my silent mode, and I'm not going to look at it for this time. I am here with you. We are engaging together and learning together. This is my priority. That is what you're communicating when you keep your distractions at bay. Even when, even for example, you are, connecting, maybe for example, you have taken a work from home exception for the day and you have to connect from home. You taking care that in your environment there is no distraction, there's nobody coming and barging in when you are in a meeting. So that is also being courteous and attentive, because you show to the other person that you matter. Show empathy. Yes, absolutely. Wow. I feel like consolidating all of your responses in one big book and, keeping it with me, because all of you have so beautifully paraphrased what we have been discussing here, and that's great to know that all of us are together interested in learning and getting to know this thing better, so that we can help ourselves better to create lasting first impressions. Yes, thank you so much. Now, a very important aspect that we were discussing earlier was handshake. So as I mentioned, I'm going to discuss this um, separately. Yes, praising their efforts is very important, Ayush. Yes, so each one of you, please keep your responses coming. If I'm not able to call out your name or address your response, it's just because that we are getting a lot of responses. I'm trying to keep a track of it as we are speaking, but please, let them come in, because you have a lot of colleagues who are learning from you. Let you, not hold it back. So please keep them coming. So, yes, a very good point raised by, I forgot the name. So, somebody mentioned that not everybody is comfortable with the handshake. So, yes, that is something that we usually. So, this is a part of business etiquette. Everyone has their own uh, zones, which is called as spatial etiquette. So, for example, this region that we have, your body, that is your intimate zone. This is only for people who are really close to you. You will be comfortable with them. One hand distance space is your personal zone, personal space. So this is the one hand distance space, which is what we maintain when we meet any other individual. And keeping this one hand distance, that happens usually. But if you're not following that, you can try reminding yourself about it, because that's like a comfortable distance where you and the other person can be comfortable in their personal space and can connect with the other individual. When you are with that distance, then you extend your hand, whichever hand. So usually it's the right hand, regardless of whether you usually use the other hand. It's usually the right hand that we extend. And your hand would be not to like this, you're just trying to reach the other person and extend your hand to give a handshake. It will not be a limping handshake. It will not be a crushing, a bone crusher, as we call it, trying to crush someone's hand. It has to be professional, in the sense it has to be firm. That is just one, two, maximum one or two bumps that you give. So that's all, one, two, and done. So when you meet them, you first, smile, exchange that eye contact. Simultaneously, you extend your hand and say hello, and that's it. And then the interaction will be just conversation. So that is how it happens. Why not two hands? Very good question. When we do this two hands, every handshake has a different meaning. So two hands means that you're trying to control the person. You would have seen that a lot of political figures would try to do this. They try to overpower the other person and do this handshake, or they try to do this. That is them showing their superiority or power over the other person. So that is why it's avoided. In business, we always say that you and I are equal. You and I are at the same place, we are engaging in the same level. So that's where I say, I respect you, you respect me. That's the connection that we're establishing here. Okay, so that is where it's always on the same level. This forearm will be parallel to the ground. Your arm will be like just next to you, perpendicular. So this will be literally a right angle that you keep. That's all. You won't extend it too much that it gets uncomfortable, not too back so that the person has to, the other person has to reach out to you a lot. So that is how it happens. So it's just once. Your handshake is just one fist bump, that's it. One bump, one handshake, and that's it. Maximum two, not more than that. So not 1, 2, 3, 4. That's not how handshakes happen. Just one hello and done, or 1, 2, and that's it. Okay. So yes. And after shaking hands, don't hang on. So don't continuously keep shaking hand. That's not what it is meant for. It's just to establish that initial connect, and that's it. If you see someone over a lot, like over several times over a period, so for example, your teammate in your new team, only the first day when you're meeting for the first time will you have a handshake, and the other days you're anyway going to see them every day, so then this will not be done. This will always be done when you're meeting somebody for the first time, or you're meeting someone after a very long time, say a month, a couple of weeks, and you've not met them. That's when you usually extend hand and say, hello, how are you doing? And take the conversation ahead. And during the introduction, we just have the handshake. And as I mentioned, first you extend the hand, have that eye contact, smile, and then your introduction and everything happens. And also, when you're engaging in introduction or introducing yourself, so you would usually just stick to a very small elevator pitch, as we call it, which can introduce you in a very brief 1 minute. That's all. And as somebody asked, not everybody is comfortable with a handshake, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So during a handshake, always, ensure that you be ready for it, but don't lead. You can take some time to observe whether, this person is engaging in a handshake, and then accordingly approach. Again, reading about the culture of, the country or the culture of the place that you're going to can give you a lot of insight into how people approach handshakes. So that is where cultural context is very, very important to take care of, to research about that, read about it, to know whether these people engage in handshake or do they not appreciate it. So that is how we can go about handshake. So if you're meeting a group and if it is for the first time you're meeting, yes, we do extend handshake with everyone. So when they introduce you, so initially if they're just introducing you, you just wait, and once the introduction is done, you can shake hands and say that nice meeting you, and that is about it. So yes, with anybody you're meeting for the first time, be it a senior, be it a junior, be it your colleague, if it's the first time that you're meeting any person, we usually proceed and get started with a handshake first. That's how we get introduced to one another, as we mentioned. So it doesn't determine or depend on the position that you hold. It's just a formal way of interacting and saying that you and I are on the same page, you and I are equal. Okay. As I mentioned, it is not regarding the designation at all. Everybody, when they meet for the first time, that is how you meet each other, and that is how we are expected to engage in business. So yes, that's about it. So do we have, okay, great. So now we move on to a very important aspect, which is your grooming. Now, grooming, as we mentioned, a lot of us, as I mentioned, when we do not meet, when we meet and we see each other, we only look at the individual, right? As it's said that, it's difficult or it's not correct to judge the book by its cover, but that's what happens when we look at any other individual. And here, hence understanding that how grooming impacts our first impression is very important. And today we're going to discuss a little bit about that. And since all of you had also mentioned about this, so we're just going to do a quick overview of it and try to understand this better so that we are comfortable and understand the business etiquette, especially when it comes to grooming. So are we all ready to explore that? So if yes, then please type grooming in the chat, GROOMING. Perfect. Okay. Now, I have a question for you. What is your idea of professional grooming? What do you think makes a great first impression, or what are the components that it has in terms of grooming parameter? What would it comprise of? Hairstyle, well-pressed clothes, proper haircut. So all of you are pros. I must give that to you. Everybody is putting in their thoughts, and together all of you have already got the nuances of how do we groom ourselves better. Proper shoes, ironed, neat clothes, neat folded clothes. Coming properly groomed is nothing but coming neatly groomed to wherever, whatever workplace you're going to. That's all about it. So it's all about ensuring that we're neat and tidy and presenting ourselves in the best way. So yes, definitely your shoes, your clothing, your perfume matters. The way of speaking, as we discussed, body language definitely makes a difference in all of it. Your watch, yes, thank you for sharing that as well. Your dress colors, yes, absolutely. That also has an impact on our grooming. Tie, yes, decency, wow, okay. Wearing colors that are neutral. So I think you've already got all of the aspects of grooming well put together by each one of you here. So definitely, a very enthusiastic set of people we've got here today, and interesting to look at your responses. Yes, body posture, yes, all of that definitely matters. Trimming our hair and beard. Yes, thank you so much. So why is it important? As we discussed earlier, it has a lot of impact on the way we are perceived, on the way you also and I also perceive people. So it's better to know about it to ensure that we all create that, lasting impression on any individual that we meet. And one such aspect of grooming, which what we call is dressing for professional success, is power dressing. And why is this important? Because it kind of shows your credibility, your authority in business. And this is usually how you would enter a conference, a business meeting, a seminar that you would attend. And that, okay, am I not audible? Can everybody please confirm quickly? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that confirmation. So I would request the people who are facing any challenge to just quickly check their network and get back. So as we discussed earlier, it's about ensuring that we are sending the right message about ourselves and the organization that we represent, the company that we represent, about a position that we represent. So it is an aspect of communication, which we often sometimes are not careful about. So to understand this better, we are just what that we use as are preferred. So neutral tones and something which is not very flashy or very, color blinding to the eyes. So something that's very subtle, that is what is preferred at work. Usual colors that you would see would be, black, gray, blue. These are the shades that you would usually see. Formal shirts tucked into trousers is the usual formal attire that you would see. But as I mentioned, if it's power dressing, you would always add on a tie. You would always add on a third layer of clothing, which would be your blazer. So that is aspects of it. Okay. I think there's some network glitch in between because of that. Okay, was I not audible? Okay, I'll repeat what I said earlier. So thank you for understanding. So what I mentioned was color matters, yes, and like most of you were rightly able to identify neutral tones in every aspect of attire, be it your clothes, be it your shoes, is what helps. And the colors usually, the shades that you would usually see in business would be, say, very neutral earthy tones. You would see black, grays, you will see blues, all of these would be there, right? And tie coordinating with the shirt, belt coordinating with the shoe is very, very important. And that helps us present ourselves better. And yes, we are going to discuss about that aspect as well. Perfect. So this is what is very, very important to note when we are grooming ourselves for business. And when it's not your power dressing day, when you're not, say, having a business meeting or a client interaction, a town hall that you're attending, then generally this is how would you groom yourselves to office, wherein it would be full sleeve shirts and formal trousers along with a belt. And if you add a tie, nothing like it. So that is how you would usually groom yourself to office. And another important aspect, which a lot of us like, is our Fun Fridays. But remembering that Fun Friday is nothing but another working day is very important. Yes, you're right. It's important to understand the purpose of the day. So, understanding that this day is another work day and ensuring that we wear uh, clothes that are well ironed, neatly put, jeans that are not torn, no translucent, transparent clothing is what can help us. And yes, there were people who were asking about professional attire for women, so we are discussing that as well. Now, it's about how you would use, again, how would you add a third layer to make it power dressed? That is about how we dress for professional attire, even for people who identify as females. Trousers and blazer is what you would usually see. And if you're opting for an Indian formal wear, it would be sari or salwar kameez. Again, the length of the kurta matters here. It would be knee length or below. So that is how you would ensure that you're formally, professionally dressed. Okay. Yes. So we are also going to discuss about grooming in a bit. So what we want to emphasize here is, again, that it's important to understand the purpose of why grooming is so important. It's to present ourselves in the best possible way, because we not only represent ourselves, but the brand that we come from. So that is very, very important to note. And jewelry can be minimal. And apart from that, yes. So we also spoke about, am I audible? I think somebody is saying that my audio and video is lagging. So can you quickly confirm? Okay. Yes, yes, I'm aware that it's not visible. All right. Okay. So yes, yes, I'm aware. I'm aware. I hope that I'm audible and visible now, because I think in between I lost the connection. Okay, all right. So towards the end of our connect, as we come towards the end of the connect, I just wanted to emphasize and discuss about aspects that we are talking about creating lasting impressions. And hygiene matters a lot. We spoke, you also shared about how perfume matters a lot. So ensuring that your the perfume note is not very overpowering, which can, cause somebody to feel uncomfortable, have headaches, or feelings of nausea. It can be avoided, and something which is a lighter tone and note can be used to ensure that everybody around you is also comfortable, including you. So, with that, the final aspect of ensuring that we have a great first impression is also about ensuring that our overall image, the way we present ourselves, is not only just about, as we mentioned, one aspect, which is, say, just body language or just attire. It's all of it together, the way we present ourselves. And it's important to ensure what is our own self image about ourselves, because that reflects in the way we present ourselves. So, do we as an individual have a positive self image about us? If not, then that needs to be rewired first, which will help us present ourselves better, more confidently in front of any person that you interact with. So, that is about creating lasting first impressions. And today, before we conclude our call and our meet, I just wanted to understand if all of us are still there. Then I have a very interesting, exciting, small, uh, you know, activity for you. Just it will take just 2 minutes for you to think and share, but I just wanted to do that. Are you all ready for that? If yes, I would like to see a quick yes in the chat. Okay. So now that we've discussed a little bit on these aspects, what I would like you to think about is, for instance, think about, just give me a second, my screen froze, I think. Yes, okay. So think about a person that you admire. It could be a film star, a singer, a sports person, anyone that you would like to meet. Okay, think about that person. And now imagine that you have won a competition and you're invited to meet them. Okay, and now you've been invited to meet them, and what is it that you would do to prepare for this interaction? What would you do? How would you feel? What would you wear? How would you present yourself? What are the things that you're going to work on and do your homework on to ensure that you are going to have a great interview, a great first impression, and a lasting first impression with that person whom you admire and you're going to meet? Okay. Okay, I think some people missed out. So my question was, imagine about a person that you admire. It could be anyone. Imagine that you're going to interview them. You won a competition and got a chance to interview them. How are you going to prepare for this interview that you're going to have? What are the aspects that you're going to work on? How are you going to feel about this interaction? How are you going to prepare for it? And what are the things that you're going to prepare about? Your tone, from head to toe, how you're groomed. Yes, absolutely. Proper attire, making points to initiate conversation. Wow, learning about that person. Interesting. Okay. First of all, I will give a handshake. Okay, thank you. So looks like that the learning has seeped in. Um, Okay, I see very interesting responses. Presenting in a decent attire, confident tone. Beautiful. Speech, communication, posture, politeness. Keeping those things in mind will help me prepare better. Wow. Interesting responses, everyone. I'll be confident to create a good first impression. Wow. Okay. Communication is key, neat and clean formal dress, formal appearance will prepare the content of talk before I go and speak. Absolutely, preparation is needed. I will try to learn as many things as possible. Good communication, well researched. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Neatly groomed. So, every aspect of first impression I see in the chats that you'll have posting, your responses that you're posting, gesture, having a gentle smile, talk properly, walk properly. Wow. Eye contact, presenting yourself in the best possible way. Um, okay. It will also help you improve your self confidence. Interesting. Thank you so much for sharing your views and thoughts. So, every time you're tasked with this challenge of creating a great first impression, try imagining yourself in this position that you are going to meet this person that you admire a lot. So, the kind of preparation that you would put in to meet that person, if you try to put that effort every day, it would help. That would help you create that lasting first impression every single time that you have that opportunity, be it in business or otherwise. So, with that, I have a small request that if you see a Menti link in the chat, kindly respond to the question that you see. It's just to get a pulse of how you felt the session was. Is there something that could be done better? If you feel anything needed to be added. We had a very short time, so I definitely couldn't go into the depth of everything, but I hope this has been helpful. And if it has, please let me know. If it has been not, please let me know. Either way, I would like to hear from you. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. And I hope to see you next time and have a great week ahead. And please keep up this energy and enthusiasm. It's lovely to see when everybody of us, each one of us is in sync and has that synergy. So today was one such day. Thank you so much for that. And thank you. Thank you for making my day, everyone, with your beautiful thoughts, messages. Regardless of who they are, what they are. So I hope you keep that in mind and keep in mind that it's all about being a good and better human being every day. So we all can do that. We all have that capability to do that. And it starts with giving respect to every person that we come across, which we can do by creating great first impressions and ensuring that we are kind to people. So, also, this is a lesson in always remembering that do not assume, ask. Sometimes our impressions that we make might not always be right. As I mentioned, you don't always get a second chance to get. So, I've seen it in your own life. You might have met people whom you felt, are not approachable, but you ended up becoming great friends with them because you got the chance to meet them again. So please take your first impressions with a pinch of salt. Stop, pause, and see the person for who they are, what they represent, what is it that they have to share. So give each individual a chance. Each person deserves respect. So that is what I wish that you take away from today's session, that all of us are nothing but trying to be better human beings, and we can do that every day, regardless of where we are. So, thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, And you don't need the slides. This is more of awareness for each one of you. When you get into the organization, you'll have like a proper training and everything on every aspect of business. You don't have to worry so much about it. But this is just to set the context as to what can you expect and what are you expected to represent. Because it's not just you, but it's your organization and everything related to it, which gets represented when you represent. So thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to reading your kind comments and responses in the link that I shared. I'm resharing it again and wishing you all the best. May you have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead and me in this organization as and when you join. Wishing each one of you success, happiness, and joy. Thank you. So I'll sign off and